Hello and welcome. This is Michelle with PaperStampInk. Thanks so much for stopping by my channel today, which is about all things paper crafting. If that sounds like something you would enjoy, make sure you hit the red subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications of future projects. So we're going to go ahead and get started on making two cards using scraps. Let's face it, we've all got lots of pieces of scraps laying around. I've taken a piece of white cardstock and created a panel by using the Sizzix double-sided tape sheets. And I'm just going to take those and put those across at an angle. You could do these straight across either portrait or landscape direction, and that would be just fine. But I have found that for me, the angle makes it a little bit more forgiving and just easier to keep things lined up. I don't have to follow that very straight line at the edge of the card. So but lots of different ways to do this. I am choosing to kind of mix and match patterns with some more tone on tone to break those down. You could leave gaps in between, not so much with the sticky sheet unless you put something like some glitter down. You could definitely do that. Put glitter in the empty spaces. I may have to try that. But this one I just wanted to cover that whole card front, and the patterns are all leftovers from a paper pad, and so they're all going to coordinate, and I didn't have to put a whole lot of thought into which ones. I've got varying sizes. I've done this before with strips that were all the same size width, and that would be fine as well. It's just a different look, but this time I had a lot of different size scraps to use up, and time to let them go and get them on a card instead of hoarding them. So this is just going off the edge. I'm not really worrying about those pieces hanging off. We'll give those a little trim here in just a moment. I'm just trying to get that last little edge piece there, and then we'll turn this over on the back, and I can kind of see where my card ends, and trimming a little bit off of those. I am trimming a bit of the white cardstock. So I start with a panel that's larger than what I want it to be in the beginning, and that's okay. And then I'm coming through and just trimming that down, and I decided to go a little bit smaller. Sorry I got the top of the trimmer off. Just trying to bring that camera in close so that you can see the rest of the project. So this card is pretty much done and ready to go on my base, but I wanted to add a sentiment on there, and I decided to use this die cut that's from Scrapping for Less. It says "You got this," and I put some more of that Sizzix double-sided tape on the back there, and you're gonna watch me fuss with this. I don't know, I made this so much harder than it really has to be when I was trying to fiddle with it, but I love this die because you get a background there as well. And so I did one color, the blue, for the background, and then I did this burgundy purplish berry kind of color that coordinates with the cardstock. I think that was the Blackberry Bliss that I ended up using for this one. And there I'm trying to get that those little bits and pieces off, and I found out that if I just peeled it off of the backing, it was going to go a lot easier. So learn from watching me do it the difficult way and do it an easier way. So I'm just going to peel those up, and the one thing you want to make sure is you don't lose that little dot on the eye. It's kind of easy to lose track of, so I was glad it stayed on the adhesive sheet there. And then I'm just lining these up with that outline, and I love the way that gives me that added dimension without having a fussy cut around a sentiment. And if I just put that die cut on the background with all these patterns and mixes, it would be, I think, a little busy. So it really needed the grounding on that. So I'll put the link below. This actually die came in the kit for Scrapping for Less this month. And if you haven't checked those out, I would suggest you do those. A lot of fun. And I'll put a link to the video of the cards I've done so far using that kit. And there's lots more left for me to make more cards in the future. So I'm using my double-sided foam tape. I wanted to bring that up off of the background just to make it stand out even more. I love this foam tape. I buy in like a huge roll, so it lasts a long time. Any of the products that I use, I'll try and put links below. down there. And if you don't know, that's one of the ways that you can support my channel is by using my shopping links. The Amazon affiliate links don't cost you any more than the normal price, but I do get a little bit of a commission, and that allows me to just keep purchasing new products to share with you guys. I'm going to put this on a piece of balmy blue cardstock. I love that blue color. It's like just the right, not too bright and not too much of a baby blue. And then put it on my card base, and that is card number 1. You got this, and it's done. So we're going to go on to the second card. I already put those strips together. I figured you didn't have to watch me do that twice. And I'm using my stitched square dies, which really doesn't matter because the stitching part's on the inside piece, but I'm going to save that for another project. And I just wanted to cut a square hole in that panel, and then I'm coming in with my embossing buddy, my Versamark embossing ink, and some silver embossing powder to put just a little hello down in the bottom corner. And you know, embossing is just, I love it. It's like magic. I just love watching that change, and you'll see that get all shiny when it's finished up. It came back a little touch up there. I wasn't quite sure if that O was completely melted, but when those embossing powders melt, they just turn this nice shiny color, and they're set, and I just think it's pretty cool with that heat tool. So I'm putting some more foam tape on the back of this panel as well, just to bring it up, but you could definitely lay it flat on that background. Great option for doing a shaker card, but I wanted to keep this fairly simple, other than the fact that I cut my foam strips too short and I have to put little filler pieces in the corners and stuff there, but I'm going to take all that tape off, and we're going to pop that panel up. You could also put a focal image, but I just like that, those stripes showing through on that background, and you can use whatever shape you want. This would be fun, a heart, a star, use your oval, circles, whatever. I just kind of grabbed a square because I tend to use a lot of circles, and so I thought I'd do something a little different and use the square this time. And just mounting that on top of there, and that is our second card. And with just a, you know, got to put some bling on there. Got my enamel dots. That's the gorgeous grape color. And I'm just going to put 3 of those on there to give it a little added touch. And we are done. I hope you enjoyed this video. And make sure that you stop on by my Facebook group and show me what you've been working on. I'll put the link for that below as well. Until we meet again, make sure you grab your paper, stamp, and ink and do something creative.